I demand that you deny the approval of this XTO docket for water withdrawal from Oquaga Creek. Approving and regulating the water withdrawals are a lot of work, especially for the gas industry. They must use all their damn steps to sidestep regulations, sidestep the impacts, and sidesteps the cost to the environment and damage they cause. This is their proven track record. I've been coming to these meetings for now about 2 years, and you've been very thorough and diligent in most all the dockets you've received and approved. But you've dropped the ball when reviewing gas industry dockets. Why is the public comment on this docket only bare minimum of 10 business days? Comment period should be as long as it takes to develop the regulations. Either your hands are tied or you've been bought. You do have the power to control and regulate every use or misuse of water in this watershed. Why aren't you using that power? Where is the requirement that the gas industry should be given any of our water for this use? A person on these matters, a person making decisions on these matters should be able to answer this question of damage that I've asked before at the last meeting. I've directed it to the Pennsylvania delegate and the Army Corps of Engineers delegate, who are in here now. It's two different people. But what is the collateral damage that you expect? Speak.
For this docket?
For this docket and for the gas industry.
Well, I'd like to wait until all the federal agencies have contributed their analysis and comments to me as the federal commissioner before I speak on their behalf.
Okay.
From the Corps of Engineers perspective, we don't have a 404 application for this.
Okay, then why aren't you holding off on this whole system here? Why aren't you putting a stop to gas well stuff?
Yeah, I'm not sure that we want to take the public's time for us to respond to the questions directly, but
that's a flim-flam answer, sir.
Well, I'm just, why don't you ask your question again, and I'll answer it.
Yes, sir. What is the expected collateral damage in the Delaware River Basin for hydrofracking?
So you're asking a question that goes to this particular docket?
Well, this particular docket is included in that.
No, well, the commission staff has been working with XTO Energy and was attempting to bring this docket forward because they believed the impact was within the parameters of the Delaware River Basin Commission standards.
Okay, now what happens when there's 5,000 dockets?
Well, that's a question that goes to a cumulative impact study.
Answer the question, sir. That's not an answer.
I think you know that all the commissioners support a cumulative impact study.
Well,
but we also require the resources to conduct it.
Why was the monies denied for that impact study?
You'll have to contact the members of Congress and the state legislatures.
No, it was offered by Hinchy. He tried to do
no, Representative Hinchy and Representative Holt and Representative Seastack in the last Congress offered support with a proposed bill to fund the cumulative impact study. That bill was not passed by Congress. There was no appropriation.
Okay.
And we received no money.
Why doesn't the DRBC want to hold off on everything until this environmental impact study comes out?
Well, because the DRBC doesn't want to be drawn into a catch-22 condition where there is no money for a study, but we're going to postpone and impede economic activity within the basin, waiting for that study to be complete, for which there is no funding.
You can't do it. I mean, you're taking a big risk for our water here. Everybody's water.
We could make the same argument for any number of activities using that water in this basin, and then we would never approve any dockets for any water use for any purpose, recreational, environmental, or other. Yeah, that would basically negate the need for commission at all, and no benefits from the watershed would be retained by anybody.
Well, the energy industry has an atrocious track record. That would put flags up to you, wouldn't it?
I think the commission is taking steps now to place natural gas regulations that attempt to address the questions of cumulative impacts, and the public has had a chance to comment on those. We're processing those comments now.
And what are your thoughts, Executive Director?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to this. We're trying to hear from the public.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.